Oh, I really hope this is working. Getting a little bit of shadow. Give people a few minutes to come in. Anybody cares to watch. May or may not. So. Huh. No, you can't get up there. Well, I don't want to wait too long. Maybe people will join. So it's really late right now. I tried to do this video earlier and I was using the YouTube app on my phone and it crashed with like I'd probably been talking for a really long time and I still don't think it's even available now. Like it just, like all that video was gone. Double check one more time. because sometimes it likes to. Oh, I just realized. Something and I'm not happy about it. Technology. Gotta love it. Yeah, it's not there. Anyway. Anyway, let's get started because it's late and I know this is going to go for a while. So, what have I been working on? It's really quiet in here right now, and that bugs me. What have I been working on these last couple weeks? I really haven't been working on too much as far as whips, but I have a couple of things, and I'll show you those. There's definitely some haul. There is. Can't even think right now. There's books. Might do those at the end. I was going to do my new watches, but I'm going to have to wait on that. Because this video is going to be long enough. The last time when I was trying to do this video earlier, I think it probably would have gone into the 2-hour mark if it hadn't cut off. And it cut off at like an hour and a half. So, and I was still in the middle of something. So, so what have I been working on? I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try not to go too long on this. So, my cat's weird. Oh, here. Say hey to Dean while he's out here walking around. He's just my big spoiled chubby butt. Yeah, my big spoiled chubby butt. Okay, I'll let you go. All right. So okay, sorry. So what have I been working on? I haven't worked on a whole lot of different things. The first thing, well, the only thing really that I've been working on at work, having on kind of a 40 count kick right now, I have been working on something you saw probably the last time, and that is the Coffee Quaker by Hot String Samplery. I am pretty much doing this with the call for threads, except for one. I thought I had picked out one, didn't like it, kind of put a call out to Facebook, and had them choose between two different ones. One was I forget what it was. But the one they chose was already one of the call for threads in the sampler. It was already there. So I had to choose between the other one. And I actually like this one better. So this is where it sits at now. I apologize, you're getting this majorly washed out look. It was so much better earlier. It really was. Last time you saw this, I had all this done, had that done. And then I had this motif right here done, but this is where I ran into the issue with the other color, because the one I had pulled originally, I didn't like it, so I went to switch it out and couldn't find anything that I liked. So this one I did, and all of this down here got stitched. And this one, in case you're wondering, this one got switched out for Weeks Dye Works Amber. And you're really not going to be able to see that. But it's a gorgeous color. It's a... So I apologize if these colors are not going to look right, because I really need to do this video tonight, or I would end up having to wait until Sunday, and I don't want to wait till Sunday. The next thing, I apologize, y'all. I'm just kind of like, I'm still really upset right now. Like, the lighting in here sucks. And you're not going to be able to see things as good as you would have seen them earlier. I'm just really upset right now. Anyway, I'm going to try to power through this. The next thing is something that I worked on at home. I've been trying to work on particular things at home. And first thing I started working on was this. It's this Susanna Rainbow sampler. Sorry, I have to work with this. I'm not sure about this verse right here. I think I want to change it, but I don't know to what. And then these initials up here, I don't know what initials I'm supposed to put there. I don't know if they had, sorry, the cat keeps wanting to like be nosy. I don't know if I'm supposed to, if the designer had intended for the person to stitch these exact same initials up there, or if they had intended for you to put your own, but I wouldn't know what initials to put So, and then I have to kind of figure out a different verse because I'm not crazy about that verse. But I love everything else though. And this is out of it was the February, April, and June issues of Just Cross Stitch from 2017. So this is where it's at now. Yeah, it's still in the queue now because I still kind of sort of want to work on it. This is where it's at now. This is on I forgot to mention the Coffee Quaker is on a 40 count Lakeside Linens and bisque. It's such a gorgeous, like, creamy color. This one is on a 28 count MCG Textiles in antique white, I think. But this is how far I've gotten. The last time you saw this, I literally had just this line right here and this little hook part right here, and I've done everything else. I had started on that bird, and which is blue, kind of a periwinkle color. But you can't tell it because it's so dark in here. So there's that. I told you I have no room right now. I even made up notes because I sure wasn't going to remember it. Then the final thing that I was working on was a freebie that I got years ago. And I started it last year, I think. Was it last year? Yeah, I think it was last year. I have just been working on it maybe 30 minutes in the morning, or sometimes, not every morning, but if I happen to get up early enough and I feel like stitching before work, I will stitch on it for 30 minutes or an hour. But like I said, it's not every morning. So this is where it's at now. The last time I had worked on this, I had this was done, this was done, this was almost done, this leaf, and this hadn't been done. And this wasn't here. So I did finished off the leaf up in here and did this leaf, and then I started on that border. And that border that runs around is really that's as big as the piece is. It's not very big. So this is in the DMCs. This is a 32 count. I feel like the stitches look like a 36 count, but I'm thinking this might be a 32 count that's shrunk. But it is a fabric by R&R Reproductions. I think it's called Green Tea, if I'm not mistaken. And I have no clue where I got this. I think I won it from Listia back when I was on Listia. So it's been a while, been a long time. I've basically had this kitted up since 2017. So that's where that sits. Yes, I'm leaving it on the hoop because yes, I will still intend to work on it. And then really I had the finish that you guys knew about. You knew it was coming. Which was the Acorns and Owls. You guys saw this almost finished just the last video. So I did finish that up. And that is another project on 40 count bisque by Lakeside Linens. See, it's a really, really pretty cream color. I like it for samplers. So that is all the whips that I've been working on. I did go through my bins of all my whips, And I pulled out some ones that I plan on UFOing. Some of them are temporary UFOs, and some are going to be permanent UFOs. And that is because some of them, the ones that will be temporary UFOs, that means I still like the design. I just may not have liked it how I was going about stitching it. The permanent ones are going to be like, yes, I may like the design, but I'm not a fan of the stitching of it. So, I'm going to take you through and show you what I pulled out and show you what's temporary, what's permanent. Cut them over here. See, I got too many. Oh, God. Okay. The first one is, what's going to be the first one? This is a DesignWorks kit that I got probably off of Listia as well. I was on Listia a lot until they changed their credits that they use. And now it's like they're harder to get unless you actually sell something. Like you can't just buy them. You have to sell something. And I never really sold much. So this is a DesignWorks kit. I believe it's called Astrology by DesignWorks, but this is a design by Joan Elliott. I believe if sold separately elsewhere, I believe she calls it the Astrologer. So Astrologer. I was stitching this on, I did say this is a Under the Sea Fabrics in Buttercup. It's a 16 count Aida. If you've been watching my channel, you know I'm not a fan of yellow. I don't know why I keep trying to stitch things on yellow because I never like it. This is how far I got. This was just the gray. It's kind of a bluey gray color that's on there. This is a temporary UFO because I still like the pattern. I just was not digging it on the yellow fabric. And I may try to hunt down a conversion. For the kit threads because they're really cheap, satiny kind of threads. So that will get done away with. The fabric, I don't know if I'm going to keep or if I'm going to sell it, but that's going to get done away with temporarily. It will be restarted at a later time to be determined. Then we have this was a pattern that I really do like. I really do like it. But it may just not be fit for me to stitch it in my expertise level. This was from the Just Cross Stitch February 2017. It's called Stars. It's all back stitching basically. It's like a backstitched black work type thing on a navy blue fabric. It's gorgeous, I know, but it just wouldn't look good when I do it. So I'm just going to leave that magazine out. And y'all know that have been watching my channel, you know how hard what it took for me to dye this fabric. It was not fun. because it is a polyester Ada, and I kept trying to dye it navy blue, and it was not working at all. So I think it's like this. I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's four-weighted. It's four-way, same on every side. That was my start on it. Yeah, you're seeing it's way lighter than it is. That was my start on it. Yep. I mean, I know it looks okay, I guess, but I don't like it. So, and it was going to be a big project. So that will get torn out. That is a permanent. This is a permanent UFO. So this will get torn out, and then fabric will probably get used for something else later. Next is a temporary-ish UFO. That's because I don't like the fabric that I picked to put this on. This is a pattern that I purchased off Etsy a while back. It's just called Police Box, but we know what it is. I think they named it that just because of copyright stuff. But it's a really pretty pattern. Like it's the wooden TARDIS, and you can see, well, if this camera wasn't so crappy, you can see like how it looks wooden, like it's a wooden TARDIS. But my dumb self decided to try to stitch this on a 16 count or 18 count. The dark gray Ada. 18 count. This is an 18 count, like slate gray Ada. You can see where the Q-snap was rubbing white on it. I don't know why I decided to do that. But that was my little bitty progress that I had gotten on it. That was it, really. So, but I still like the pattern. Still want to stitch it one day, but not on this fabric. This fabric will have to get used for something else. I'm going to have to wash it first. Well, I'm going to have to unpick the stitches and then wash it. So that is another temporary UFO until I can restart it on a white fabric. I have so many like full coverage things that I just want to stitch all of them. This is another permanent one, and you guys might be sad to see this go, but this was another kit that I bought. It is the Teresa Wentzler fruit bell pull. I'm not really all about the fruit. If it had been I think she has one of these vegetables. There was another one she had that I liked a little bit better, but I'm not really crazy about this one. I'm not crazy about the design itself. And this was using the included threads and the included 28 count even weave. I had actually done a decent amount. Like that whole square, I pretty much stitched that whole square because the line that was on here before when I purchased it, when I got it off Listia, I had to actually frog that out and redo it because their stitches look like crap. And they went in a different direction than mine. So literally I had stitched that whole box and then I had kind of started on the leaves and stuff in there. But it's not the Teresa Wentzler-ish thing about this that puts me off. it is just the fact that I'm not really digging the design itself. It's not something that I would have picked at this time in my life, knowing that I like Teresa Winsler as much as I do. I still probably wouldn't have picked it. I was just excited to get a nice kit on Listia. So, and like I said, it was being stitched with the kit threads, which aren't so bad. This one will probably get put up on Adopt-A-Whip or something. Yeah, this one will get put up on Adopt-A-Whip, so be on the lookout for that, I guess. And that will include the fabric and the kit threads and everything. I might even include that envelope that it's in. The next one is one that I struggle with so bad. I did one for my mom, but when it comes to doing one for myself, I can't decide what I want to do. I can't even decide if I want to do it or not. I like it, but I don't. And that is the one. And don't worry, this is completely free for everybody. His name is Jesus one. It's free if you sign up for, I think, Joyful Expressions. I have been stitching this, and I have been using a Karen Water Lilies. I think I had decided on 3 different silks. One of them was a Karen Water Lilies. So this is where I got. It's really pretty. I give it that, but I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it. I mean, I just don't. This is a temporary UFO. I do know that much, but here's the thing. Where is it? This is really pretty, right? See, right about. I don't know if you're going to see how washed out this is. It's over there somewhere. Anyway, right here, there's a pink highlighter stain. So, I don't know what I want to do with this fabric. I have UFO'd this thing so many times already. Because the fact is, I'm never going to go back to it the way it is right now. Especially with that highlighter stain on it. This is where it's at. So that is another temporary UFO. But the thing with that one is I don't know if I'm ever going to actually go back and stitch it. I'm calling it a temporary UFO because it may get stitched again once I pick out new fabric and threads and all that. The next one is one that I started 2017. I started a lot of things in 2017, y'all. It was 2016 or 2017. I don't remember. But I remember specifically I had started this for an Olympic Sal in Stitch Mania. And I think the prompt that day had to do with fire. And I don't want to show the pattern even though it is a legitimate freebie for all. But I was calling this Fiery Phoenix. Can't see it. It's actually coming up. It's actually darker than it's showing up. I cannot see this at all. But anyway, that's what it is. All this still had to be filled in. No, I just was not digging working on this. I think this is a pattern. I got it off of DeviantArt. I think DeviantArt. And I think it's a pattern based off of Final Fantasy. But I just saw it because it was a Phoenix. I like Phoenix, so So I have been working on that for a while and never wanted to go back to it. And this is if anybody's wondering, this is an old 28 cast shell in Brash by Picture This Plus. It's an old it's kind of okay right there. But not digging the pattern at all. I'm not digging the stitching on it. Just dropping everything. I don't have much space. So that will get UFO'd. I don't know. I'm gonna have to pick everything out of that fabric. It's not gonna be fun. And maybe use it for something else. So then we have another temporary. It's late. Another temporary one. It is the Four Seasons Chairs by Janlin. It's the one that's like just a chart. And if you remember, I had started on the fall one right here. I was going to do each one of the chairs on its own piece of fabric. I'm going to restart this, but I'm just going to start it on a piece of white even weave, and I'm just going to do them all together like it shows. Because these things are a little bit bigger than they show. Either that or I'll still do them separately, but I'll just do them on a piece of white fabric. This is being done on 28 count linen in Moon Glow by Picture This Plus. This was a stitchy box, and this fabric is like, it's brighter than it's showing up. But that was my little bitty start on it. I actually worked on this twice. So that will be picked out. I don't know what I'm going to do with that fabric because I'm probably not going to be hanging on to yellows very much. Like I said, not a fan of yellow. And then finally, the last one that is going to get UFO'd. The last one that's going to get UFO'd is going to be this Christmas tree swirl. This is another Etsy pattern that I got. I love that swirl Christmas tree, but this whole square right here, the whole square, that was a full coverage piece. So, and I had decided I was just going to do the Christmas tree itself. That is a lot of individual colors, like changing colors. Look at that. That's a lot of different colors, actually. It's not simple. It's like a haze. And I'll show you in a minute. Like all this floss right here. Yeah. And the sad part is that's actually missing like 2 or 3 or 4 colors for the white on the outside. It actually has like a super light pink and blue on the outside edge of the square. Really, really. I have been doing this on a 32 count white and silver even weave. You can't tell it, but there's like sparkle in there. But that's how I got. That's how far I got on it. Not digging it. I'm just gonna restart it. I may do it on a slightly dyed piece of fabric. That way I don't have to do all that white on white. I wouldn't be looking forward to that. I'll probably still keep this kitted up though, but it's essentially going to be UFO'd. So that one is the last of the UFOs. That was a temporary one until I can restart it and just do the full coverage thing. So, that is all I have relating to like whips and UFOs. Whips and non-whips and I don't know what I'm gonna do when I go back to work tomorrow. I thought I was supposed to work today, because I took 2 days off last week, and I was gonna have to sacrifice one of my days off on another week. And so I went to work this morning, and the guy showed up a few minutes later. Like, "What are you doing here?" And I guess he got confused or forgot that because I took 2 days off last week, I wasn't going to take a day off like this week. Well, because I had some errands to run anyway, I was going to get my employee to come in for a couple hours, so I could go run my errands. I was going to I told him to go ahead and stay and work today so I could go run my errands, and then I would just take I would work the whole week next week. I wouldn't take a day off next week. So I had an unexpected day off to go and try to handle some business at the college, because I've been trying to get enrolled into college and had noticed Wednesday that they were overcharging me. I only signed up for 2 classes, but I was getting charged like $2,500, which is the out-of-state cost. For somebody that lives out of state, was visiting from out of state or whatever. So I went up there today to try to take care of it, to try to get it back changed. And there was just an insane list of stuff that I would have to come up with if just to establish residency. And there's no way I was going to be able to come up with that in 2 days when the payment's due, because my financial aid was going to be late kicking in, because I forgot I had to accept the award after it's been processed, and I completely forgot about that. So it was going to be processed late anyway. So I kind of left the college a little bit annoyed and defeated. So the very next place I went to was the LNS. My LNS is Stitch and Frame. So I went for a little retail therapy. I spent my feelings. So I'm gonna do that here in a minute. I've also gotten some other things in since then. Or I don't know. What do you think? Should I do the LNS haul first, or should I like work up to it, like small stuff? We'll work up to the good stuff. So, had gone to Dollar Tree at one point last week, and got a 2020 planner so I could work on planning my stitching next year. And then another point, we had gone to a discount store called Ollie's, and I got this book called A June of Ordinary Murders, and this is a period murder mystery. Basically, you're in the 1800s, and they categorize crimes in 2 different ways. Political crimes classified as special, while anything else like theft, robbery, and even murder are classified as ordinary. and somebody gets murdered at it's in Dublin, Ireland in 1887. Basically, during Queen Victoria's Jubilee, some bodies get discovered, and they're trying to solve them. They think they're ordinary, but they're not. So they're a little bit more. Apparently, they're a little bit more special than they first think. So, got this book. I had checked to see if it was available in audio form before I bought it, and it doesn't look like it is. So I'm going to have to go and read this the old-fashioned way whenever I get time. You know me, I'm either stitching or I'm working. So, so I got that at Ollie's. Then in the mail, I got the what is this? The October 2019 issue of Just Cross Stitch. I know a lot of people have done the flip through of this, and I'm not going to do flip through because I tried to do flip through earlier and it was a complete waste of time. But I will try to show you what is in here. I apologize if you can't see anything. That one's really hard to see, that green one. There's some cute stuff in here. This is why I do continue to get Just Cross Stitch magazine, because sometimes there's some good stuff in there, sometimes there's not. But I mean, there's a couple of things in here that I like. And yeah, the Halloween issue is pretty good too. So got that. Got the September, October of Cross Stitch Gold. I'll do a quick flip through of this because there's not usually a lot of patterns in here. Got Summer Beauty. You got Down by the Sea. And you've got Peace and Serenity. Mountain Retreat. I'm trying to show these pages so there's not any glare on them, because they are kind of shiny and slick. And you got Dazzling Dahlias. Dahlias are not really my thing, but if they were hydrangeas, I'd be all over it. And we have Beautiful Berries. That is pretty, but not something I would ever stitch. There's a basket of strawberries. And then we have Teddy's Wedding. That's super cute. And finally, at the very back, little baby cards. Those are cute. So that's going to be it for that one. That's a good thing about those, just about those cross stitch gold ones. There's never really usually a lot of patterns in there. I think there's like 8 patterns in each issue, something like that. Hold on, drop my notes. And then I also purchased a pattern on Etsy. I purchased a couple of things on Etsy, but one of them actually has to get mailed to me in the mail, and I will show you that when it comes. I'm going to pull up my Etsy so I can show you, because I did print it out. I went by the library today and I did print it out but it's not the best picture. So I'm just going to show you the what you call it, the listing photo. There was a pattern that made the rounds a couple years ago, called the Plague Doctor, and it was a man. He had like the plague mask on, and I was remembering it differently because I was remembering it like he was facing to the side, but I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about how I really wanted to stitch that pattern here nowadays. And like I wanted a Halloween stitch. So I went to look it up, and it ended up being a little bit differently than I remember, but I remembered the pattern. But I'm thinking, what was I thinking about? And I think I was mashing it together with this other pattern called Nightmare, which is the one, it's like all these swirly lines and stuff, but it's a night. And that one is kind of turned sideways. And I was kind of mashing that to the Plague Doctor together with the Nightmare. But I was looking through their shop. I found it on Etsy. I Googled it and found out that Plague Doctor is on Etsy. So I was like, yeah, I like it. And they have a woman version of it too, a lady version. And I was looking through the shop, and I saw another pattern that I just had to have. I loved it 10 times more, and I just had to have it. So I can pull this up here. I hope you're going to be able to see this. Let me turn the brightness down on my phone so you can see it better. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That is so cool. This is called Plague Crow. So I love that. His little top hat. Love that. And it's only $5. So $5, go get it. I'm going to be doing that one. And that is by Busby Designs on Etsy. I will link it down below after all the live stuff is over. So I got that, and I definitely will be starting that soon. That's going to be my Halloween start. And I know I said I was pushing it, starting the Acorns and Owls, when I said I wasn't going to start anymore. But that was a quick finish. That was a start and a quick finish. So I didn't mind that as much. It was small. It wasn't going to take me long to do. But this one will be my only start this year. I'm not starting anymore. So I also, as I said earlier, I went to my L&S today, and I also made a stop by Hobby Lobby, but we'll do the L&S first since I went to the L&S first. What did I do with my L&S stuff? Oh, back here. So after I went by the college and left there, I was a little upset. I was a little annoyed. First of all, I got a half yard of just 25 count even weave because I plan on restarting something that is currently on a much bigger piece of 18 count Ada, and I want to restart it. But it's not going to be this year. I'll wait until next year to restart it. And then I also got this piece. It's a 40 count. You're not going to be able to see this. This kills me. It's 40 count Lakeside Linens. And you kind of can see. Anyway, this is Lakeside Linens in Maritime White, 40 count. I love this so much. It's a greeny beige color. It's gorgeous. I love it. Hopefully by the time I actually get around to showing this with my stitching on it, it'll be daylight where you can see it better. This is what Plague Crow is going on. So I love this. I saw this and I'm like, that has to be from Plague Crow. So I apologize if you can't see it. It was coming through so good earlier when I tried to record. Kills me. And then I also picked up the Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch. I did try to do a flip through of this earlier, but I am not doing that again. I'll point out a couple ones that I kind of like. The first one is going to be this one, the Happy Halloween one. Because it's moth, of course, I'm going to like it. This one is kind of pretty. Oops, trying not to show that. This one's kind of cute. This one right here, I think he's adorable. I get so wrapped up in Halloween. And it's the other ones on that page. Since I'm there. These are kind of cute. I like the Home Sweet Haunted Home. Oops. Sorry. I like that Home Sweet Haunted Home right there. It's cute. Gone Batty. This one has, as you can see, has the Gone Batty. It's a cat. I think he's dressed up as a pumpkin. But then he has like these little bat wings on the sides. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. To market. Riding a pumpkin, pulled by a crow. This one's kind of cute. There's no one, as you can see the pattern. Witch Stitch. That one's kind of cute. Yeah. Try not to take too long on this. There's a lot of good patterns in here, but I can't show them all. Oh, I did want to point out there is a typo in this magazine. This pattern right here, you can see this is Halloween Campfire. That's supposed to be campfire because here, I can't show you. Here at the top of the page right here is this is campfire. So I left out the F in that word. I just thought it was funny. I don't think I've ever caught a typo like that in Just Cross Stitch. What else? I think that's going to be it. Yeah. I mean, I like a lot of the patterns that are in here. Other people have done flip throughs. If you want to see a full flip through, just find them. Might as well leave that there. Then I got some patterns. This first one, I debated on whether or not I actually liked it, or if I liked it because other people were getting it. And I think I like it because I like it. That is the HL's moth. If I stitch it, I probably won't put the HL down there at the bottom. I don't know what HL is supposed to be. Maybe it tells. Let me look, see if it tells. I haven't opened this up yet. I don't think it tells. Because it's by Kathy Barrick. So that's not her initials. Count, coarse on spun linen, quite large. Just to do my reproduction on smaller linen, use the color closest to the original I could find. The antique was stitched with wool yarn and had faded considerably on the front. I went with silk threads and used the faded colors as the original colors were quite bright. Another feature of the original sampler was pieced linen. HL must not have had access to linen wide enough to fit the entire design, so she added a piece of the same linen to each side of her sampler. On the chart, you will find heavy dark lines on both the right and left side. These lines indicate where the original sampler was pieced. Our reproduction is also pieced. Be sure you have enough linen to allow for this if you decide to piece your linen as well. In the photograph on the cover, you will notice a tiny moss necklace made to match the sampler. This was the brainchild of Carmen Sutton of Cardan Needlework. Carmen stitched HL's moth over one on 40-count linen and finished it into a gorgeous flat pink cushion. I added the pieces to make it into a necklace. A kit for the jewelry pieces is available from your local needlework. So, yeah. So it doesn't say who HL was. It was just, I guess it was a reproduction. They found a reproduction sampler in an antique shop. It said HL. Oh yeah, I see what they're talking about now. It looked like it was pieced. Like you see these lines, this here, this here. It kind of looks like they pulled a couple of threads to make it look like it was pieced. I think. I don't know. I don't know what that means. And I don't know how you would do that. I don't know how you would do that. Please see sources page for special instructions. Oh, that must have been the... I'm sorry, I'm over here boring y'all to death. But I need to find out how they do this. It looks like they pull some threads to make it look like it's pieced. I don't see anything. See, they say there's finishing instructions, but there's not. It says there's finishing instructions, but there's not. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about how to do that pieced look. So, I may have to do some searching around on the internets and see what I can find. Of course, then again, I may not even do that. I also picked up another something that I've been obsessed with. And I had mentioned to Andrea on one of her videos, she was talking about long dog samplers. She was mentioning that she didn't feel like she could start another long dog sampler until she finished the one she was working on. And I told her I kind of feel that same way too, because there's another long dog that I'm obsessed with, and I wouldn't be able to start it until I finished my Death by Cross Stitch. So, and she didn't know anything about it. She said that she had to go look it up, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it now too." So this is called Descending Order. It's descending as like descendants. This is gorgeous to me. Like, it's so gorgeous. I love those colors. And I wish this was coming up. The color that it's supposed to. I love this. It has the initials at the bottom. And I guess that's a generational thing. So I love this one. I love it to death. I have it now. I will probably have to make a working copy. Not that it's that complicated. Let's get the pattern back in there. Thank you. So I love this. There is 11 colors. And they're all charted in General Arts, but they do have a DMC alternative. So I think that's just gorgeous. One of my favorites. I think it came out originally like early this year. And then I also picked this up when I was going through the markdown bins. It's Fetish number 3. It's the Mary Ann England by Lottie Da. I hope you can see that okay. Yeah. And they had another one, a different one that said Fetish number 2. I don't know what all that titling is about. But I just thought that was pretty. That would make another good Halloween sampler. Doesn't look like it's that big. It's 115 by 123. It's not that big. Not really. It's so. And then finally, one more thing. I know. My cat's being obsessed with me right now. I need to check something real quick. Stop. You know what that means? Finally, I picked up this. I saw it. They had a bunch of like little Miho kits like this in another little basket, in a basket. I just thought this was absolutely beautiful, amazing, pretty. Yep, it's just my thing. So that was the LNS haul. Put that back in there for now. And then from Hobby Lobby, where's my Hobby Lobby bag? Oh, I set it back here. From Hobby Lobby, I picked up the threads for the crow, the plague crow. Sorry, I'm getting really tired. And then I found this. Letitia, the crafty curator, had shown one of these in her video, and it's a box. It's a hard box, but let's open this up. Do it like one of those suitcases. Let's open it. has the compartments for your floss bobbins or whatever you choose to put in there. I thought it was so pretty. I wanted to get like a bunch of these so I could just put all my floss stash in them. But they're $7.99 each. They're by Yarnology. I just thought this was so cool. It's pretty. This might be a Hade box. I got that. And then finally, Hobby Lobby apparently they've jumped on the needle minder train because they had these. Show this one first. The floss, the stitching is a lifestyle. And you have Floss Girl. And then you also have the little skein of floss. This one says handmade with love. Show that? Handmade with love. And then you have the little stork embroidery scissors. And then they have these cute little cloth button backs, which are really pretty. I don't know what kind of magnets they have on them, unless the magnet is embedded into the minder. May or may not be. It might be embedded in the magnet because it says 90% alloy, 10% magnetic. So, but here's the thing. I'm not keeping these. These are going to end up going into a giveaway. So, the lucky person is going to get these. One lucky person is going to get these. But I will go into that later. I'm not going to go into it too much right now. I'll go into it later. Basically, if you made it this far, which one of you is watching, this month marks my 4-year Flosstube anniversary. And I am putting together a bag filled with goodies for one lucky person. I'm not doing the giveaway right now. I'm still working on getting everything together. I will do the giveaway at a later time in a later video. So just be on the lookout for that. This just to let you know, this is going to be one of the items that's in the bag. So, and it's going to be, I kind of wish I could make bags, like project bags, but I can't. So, it's going to be in a bag similar to this. It's going to be in one of these type bags. One of these whole big bags like this, filled with stitching goodies. Only the one I send you is going to have a working zipper pull. So I will do that giveaway at a later time. Finally, what am I doing next? I did my whips. I did my finish, my haul. I was going to do my new watches this particular video, but it's going to be running late, so I'm not going to do it this video. I will do it next time. We have a couple of new male floss tubers. I will go ahead and shout those out. You have Texas Bob 88. His name is Robert, another Robert. And I think he's the one that's been stitching since he was like 6 or 7, but he got out of it for 20-something years, and now he's just picked it back up this year. He's making good progress on the whips that he has going. And then you have Big Ben Little Stitches. He only has the one video out right now, but he is really fun to watch as well, so go check him out. And then we also have Chubby Nerd Stitches, which I think a couple people have shouted him out as well already. So definitely go check him out. He's fun to watch. He's one of my favorites. So I will shout out the rest of them next time because I'm not trying to run too late on this. The last thing that I wanted to bring up was books. The last time you saw me, I had just started reading. I had finished a book by an author called Tammy Hogue, who's one of my favorites. I had finished a book called Ashes to Ashes, and I was starting on the second book in the series called Dust to Dust, and finished that one up. That one, trying to remember. Oh yeah, that one had another twist. Like she has a knack for that. She has a knack for these like insane twists. Like you would never in a million years think that it is who it is. This one, I kind of had a feeling, but I'm like, no, why would he? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's a really good book. Go check that one out if you want to. Tammy Hogue is a really good author. She's one of them authors that can completely surprise you by the ending. And then I read, I think these might be a little bit out of order. Then I read a book called The Silent Patient. And I'll show you. This one is a fairly new-ish book. Waiting for my app to open so I can show you like what the cover looks like. I'm just trying to show you what the cover looks like. The cover looks like that. This one is interesting in that it's more of a psychological thriller. This woman named Alicia. Her husband is found murdered in their home, and she's standing there. She's basically charged with his murder. But she does not speak. Like when she's caught, when they find his body, when she's caught standing there over his dead body, they're questioning her, and she just stops speaking, and she does not speak for years. And so then you get to see this psychologist come in, and he is trying to kind of reach out to her and get to know her and help her and trying to get her to speak. He goes in when you first meet him. He's going in. He's saying that ever since he heard about Alicia's, case, that he's been kind of interested and a little bit obsessed with it. So he's starting new at this psychiatric hospital that she's at, and he immediately just kind of like, where's Alicia? I want to meet her. So you get to know some of these other hospital workers. Some of them are a little bit off. You've got another patient that's kind of crazy. Not really crazy, but like violent crazy. Um, and you've got other doctors who are, he wants to treat her in a certain way, and the other doctors are like, I don't know. But he convinces them to let him work with her in the way that he is suggesting. At the same time, you're getting these scenes of this psychologist. Basically, like he sees her cheating. He sees his girlfriend or his wife, um, sees her cheating on him with another man. He follows this man and just kind of goes crazy. Like he stalks this man basically, and there's an ending that really kind of took me by surprise because you're getting, the audiobook is read by two people. There's two perspectives here. You've got the psychologist's perspective, and then you've got Alicia's perspective. Her perspective is coming from her journal entries, and his perspective is basically coming from his perspective. It all ends up boiling down to, well, she eventually speaks, and she tells him this crazy story. She tells him the story, and he's riveted at first, but then he just, like, everything she says, I do not believe a word of it. And I don't want to spoil the book. It has this crazy ending that you basically realize that this started, his obsession with her and his obsession with the case started before he went to work at the hospital. That his familiarity with Alicia, like him knowing who Alicia is, him being an acquaintance of Alicia, started before she got to the hospital. Let's just leave it at that. It's a very wild book. It's slow to start. It is kind of a creeper, as far as the story creeping along, but it keeps you pulled in on whether or not he's going to get her to talk. And then when she finally does talk, you're like, yes, we're going to find out what happens. So, and then she slowly starts telling what happened. But then the psychologist is like, that's BS. I don't believe a word of it. But anyway, it's a good book. I would definitely go check it out. If you're more into the psychological mystery type stuff, definitely a good book. I might actually read that a second time, or I might actually listen to it a second time. And then I listened to a book which I already had. I actually have the physical book of this as well. And I had the audio book downloaded for quite some time. And I never got into listening to it. I tried to read it, and it was a slow read. It was kind of a boring read. And then when I tried to listen to the audio version a while back, I'd started, like barely started, and it was still slow. So I never really got much further than I never really got any further, actually, than I had in the regular book. So this time I made myself listen to it. And it is very slow. I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, might have right. I don't know if I told you what it was. Duh. It's called The Historian. And the book that I have looks like that as well. It's called The Historian. It's by Elizabeth Kostova. This book is a chunkster. This is a big book. Most of the novels that I read, the audio version of them is usually about 8 to 9 hours long. This one was double that. This one was 18 hours long. So this is a big book. It is slow in places. Basically, you've got a college historian. He's in the library one day doing his research, and he a book is basically laid with his things, and he decides, okay, somebody's left their book there, and so he leaves it there, and he comes back the next day, and it's still there. And this is not like a regular book. It's a like a leather bound book. It's completely empty, except for a wood carving on the inside of a dragon. And he takes it to his advisor, and his advisor tells him, I also got one as well. It's, it's the strangest thing. I also got one as well, and shows him his book. It's similar, but almost identical, with the exact same wood carving on the inside. The next day, his advisor has disappeared, and his advisor has told him that the book basically has to do with Dracula. I'm sorry. The book has to do with Dracula, or Vlad Tepes, the real life inspiration behind Dracula. Technically, he is Dracula, because Dracula just translates to son of the dragon. And I think that was his family name or something like that. But this book, he basically, it's a man. His daughter has found these letters, and he has begun telling his daughter the story of all about where these letters, why they came to be, and it happened in his youth. So when he was in college, as like an undergraduate, and it's kind of being told in different points of view of the daughter. The daughter is telling the story decades later, but then relaying all this stuff as it's coming from her dad through his letters, through the stories that he's told her. And then later on, you get another piece of the story you might get a piece of the story that's being told by other people that he's met along the way. So the book is basically, it's a story being told through letters within the daughter's memoirs, so to speak. So, but it takes them all the way from like all different countries, like Romania and Bulgaria and Istanbul, different places. But it can be slow to read. I found myself getting a little bored and a little bit overwhelmed with story, because they're basically chasing where was Dracula actually buried, because he's not where he's supposed to be. So where was he actually buried? Hold on, I gotta get a drink. So I hope my laptop doesn't go dead. That's the one thing I'm worried about right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm good. Um, but basically, his father's story is of them trying to him. He meets a lady, and she has this accent like she's from that region. I still can't remember where exactly she was technically from. I think she's Slavic. I don't remember. Um, but his dad's part of the story basically revolves. Sorry, his dad's part of the story basically revolves around them trying to find out where Dracula is buried and taking them all over this trip, all over Europe. Um, because they're trying to find out where Dracula is buried because they think that if they find out where that is, they will find his missing um, advisor. So the book just kind of it takes you all over the world, not all over the world, but all over that region. And at first, it's a book just about the historical Dracula, but then they start bringing in elements of supernatural-ish events happening, and you get into okay, vampires really exist and they're really in the world today. So it's kind of a toss up. Like you get all like trust me, there is so much historical stuff going on with what was going on in the region at the time, and Vlasifish, he was killed in battle, and then they were supposed to take his body to one place, and they took his head to another place, and trying to find it. But then there were some pilgrims that came, journeyed to find his body or to restore his head to his body or something like that. There was just so much going on. I don't even remember what happened. But all in all, it brings the book to a nice close. I will tell you, yes, they do find his advisor. May not be in the context they had wanted to find him, but they do find him. It may not be the happiest way to find somebody. But they also meet Vlad. If that tells you anything. But all in all, I mean, it's a slow burn book. There's not really much by way of like exciting action. There's a couple of things that happen, like them getting followed into a church and them having to like hide and stuff. But there's nothing like really big that happens. There's a couple, like I said, there's a couple of smaller things, but nothing like really, really big, major. But if you're into that kind of thing, if you're into historical fiction, if you're into stuff about war, if you're into stuff about Dracula, I'm kind of a vampire type person. I like stuff about vampires. Sometimes I'll read stuff about vampires. Go check it out if you think that might be something for you. Like I said, it may not be the most exciting book to read. Like it's not chock full of exciting events. There's just a lot of historical stuff in there. And I don't want to keep droning on about the same book. It's a good book, it's just a little slow for me. So, And finally, I downloaded a short story of sorts. It was only about an hour and a half to read, or an hour and a half to listen to. But it's called Ghost Detectives: Case of the Stolen Infants. Short story. In a nutshell, two detectives, they hear about a case from their superior, about babies that are going missing from hospitals and from homes, I think. I don't know. But they get a case about babies that are going missing. And so they attempt to raid this place and try to find who's doing it. I think they were going to go meet an informant. And shootout ends up happening. They get killed. These two detectives get killed, but at first they don't realize it. They feel like they're just getting up. Like they got into this gun battle, but then they're just getting up off the ground. Then they realize that they're dead because nobody can see them, and it's just there's only certain people. There are certain people in the book that can see them. Like their superior, their captain can see them. There's a psychic that can see them, and I think there's another guy that can see them. But they're trying to work with their captain and work with other people to try to find out where these babies are going to, and they come upon a crime ring where these women are basically entering into hospitals dressed as like maintenance workers or blood drive workers. And then they're basically taking the babies out in barrels. They'll take a baby out in a barrel, but multiple. And I'm laughing because it's so absurd. But so eventually they do help their captain or sergeant, whoever it is. They do help him find out where these babies are going to, right before they're shipped off overseas or something, right before they're shipped off somewhere. But it was, like I said, it was a short story. My issue with that one is that there were gaps where they would be in one thing and then, there would be a movement that it wouldn't tell you about, and all of a sudden this person's, they're outside and he's pulling up his coat around his neck. It's like there's movements that have been left out, and then your brain has to catch up, because it's such a short story, and I guess they were trying to fit it in a certain amount of time or a certain amount of pages. But it's a fluff book. It's not really hard to follow. And the sad thing is, I think there's a series of Ghost Detectives. So, be that as it may, we went to the library earlier and I printed out my Crow, and I also checked out a few audio books on CD. I won't be able to listen to them at work, but I can at least listen to them in my car. Because the thing about Audible is that, yeah, I'm paying like $14.99 a month, but you only get 1 credit per month, which means you only get 1 book per month. And I can go through at least 2 books a week, depending on how much time I spend in the car listening to them. And then if I start getting really into it, I'll listen to it at work. Maybe not like every single day, maybe like one day. But I can go through them pretty fast. I just won't be able to listen to these at work because they're on CD. The first one I'm going to listen to is a very big book. And I want to go ahead and get through that one first just to make sure I get through it. Because you only have like 3 weeks on the audiobooks, and I think I checked out like 4 of them. So I guess that's gonna be it for today. I told you that August was my 4-year Flosstube anniversary. I told you that I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon. Not right this minute, but I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon. I'm still getting it together. Hopefully I'll be able to do it in September, but I will let you know. The college thing is not worked out this semester. I may look around to see what else I can find, because ideally I do want to do like a certificate or a diploma or something where I can do it quickly within a few semesters and then just get enough knowledge to get a different job, to get something better. I don't know, I may decide to go ahead and get all that stuff filled out and continue on with where I was trying to get on at. So I don't know. But basically I have until beginning of next year, because I think the spring semester started in January. So I would have to start trying to figure this out by like November or December, probably. I don't know when the spring semester starts, so. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I think that about wraps it up. I'm sorry I had to do this live, which means I won't be able to do any editing. But it was just YouTube was being a big pain in the rear end. I had recorded. I've said before, I like to record straight into YouTube. I will record straight into YouTube as a private video. I will then go onto my laptop, which I am using right now, and download the video, edit it, and upload it as a public video. But I got like an hour and a half into my video and it stopped. Like the app crashed, just stopped, and closed itself. And so what video that I had done is gone. So if it had at least saved that video in my phone, I could have at least picked up where I had left off, but it's nowhere to be found. And so I really didn't want to keep waiting to do the video, because I would have had to wait until Sunday where I had more time. But I didn't feel like waiting until Sunday. I wanted to go ahead and get it done. So yeah, I guess that's going to do it for you guys. I know this is movie length, and some people like movie length, some people don't. So if you're watching this later on, which you probably will be, because I don't think many people have really joined me today night. It might be too late. I'm sorry. So if you're watching this later, just say hi. That's all I ask. And give me some information. Just let me know what your thoughts are with the Susanna Rainbow sampler, what I should do about the verse that's in that box, and then the initials that are over the top of it. I don't know what to do about that. I would just assume leave the initials out, but then there would be a gap between, I don't know if it would be a very big gap, if it would really look weird, or what initials I should stitch there. I mean, I have 2 kids. I don't know. Or if I'm supposed to stitch those exact same initials up there. I don't know. Just let me know what you think, because I have no clue what to do. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I may be back in 2 weeks, because Lord knows I won't have a day off next week. And I will do the rest of my new watches next video, because this was going to run way too long as it was, and I didn't want to run any kind of risk in case it cut off on me again for some reason. But yeah, I know I keep saying goodbye. That really is going to do it for me today, guys. I hope to see you guys again soon. I'm sure I'll see you guys again soon. Until I see you guys again next time, please be awesome to yourself and be awesome to each other. Bye.